guys, welcome tonight to our channel. Make sure to smash that subscribe and like button. I'm kidding, that's cringe. Welcome everyone to tonight, the program. Glad you're here joining us. November 4th, we are into the holiday season, right in the heart of fall. And with that said, we got a little something for you guys tonight. Where is Waldo? When's the last time you did one of those? So we are gonna put something up on the screen and give you guys about, I don't know, what am I feeling during the edit? Let's see, I'm gonna try to channel my telepathic powers. A minute, 2-minute timer, we'll see what I'm feeling. But we're gonna put that on the screen and you guys have that amount of time to find Waldo. All right, yeah, guys, took me a good amount of time. It's okay if you didn't find it. If you didn't, you should probably go get your eyes checked out, okay? Okay, with that said, we are kicking off a new series tonight, Can't Steal My Joy. Matt's got an awesome word for us tonight, and we got a good game as well, so a lot of good going on tonight. Sit back, enjoy, have fun. Hey guys, welcome to tonight's game. So glad if you're here in person or online joining us. But tonight's game, we got a good one for you guys, Emoji Hunt. All right, if you guys have never heard of this game, basically what's gonna happen is that we are gonna put up on the screen a sequence of emojis and you have to go into your phone and find those emojis, copy them just as you see them on the screen. And then after you do that, what you're gonna do to win in your group, you are going to text and message your leader individually, teams, groups. If you guys already have group chats, we ask that you follow this format because we do get some cheaters out there. So students, text your leaders individually your emoji sequence, and the leaders will call out and determine who is the first person to get it right. So we'll do a trial round here first of just a random sequence of emojis, but we got a lot of good themes since we are into the holiday season. But yeah, this is a trial run, guys. Everyone has 15 seconds to hunt for those emojis in your phone. On your mark, trial run, get set, go. All right, guys, hope that went well. Leaders, your phone is blowing up, but hope that went well. Students, hope you guys got the hang of that. But we are gonna officially kick things off. Leaders, team, students, make sure you guys are keeping count of who is winning and who's not. But we're gonna do a few rounds here. But here's round number 1, 15 seconds. On your mark, get set, go. All right, guys, love that sequence. Count up the score, get it who is right. We are into the next round. Next sequence, get ready, go. All right, we are done with that one, and we've got the next sequence coming up. Everybody start getting your thumbs warm. If they're still cold, it's game time to lock it in. But here we go, next sequence, on your mark, get set, go. All right, gather up. Make sure you guys are still keeping scores. Take another breather. I am doing so many of these takes, so I'm gonna keep making different faces. On your mark, get set, go. All right, done with that one. Wait, I got that wrong. It's gotta be a McConaughey. All right. But we're down to the next sequence. Everybody get ready. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Oh man, all right, I bet some of you guys are running away with it now and others are in a really tight race. Continue to keep score. Hope you guys are enjoying the game so far. But here we go, next sequence is coming in hot in 3, 2, 1. Oh man, all right, write down that score, keep track. That was a good one there, good sequence, but everybody get ready for the next one that is coming in 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Whew, all right, man, we are going rapid fire here. We got the next sequence coming in Sonic style fast in 3, 2, 1. Oh man, all right. Guys, we have 2 rounds left. Keep it up. If you guys are in a deadlock race, dial it in. We're getting ready in 3, 2, 1. Whew, all right, get ready. Last sequence of emojis. Time to hunt it up. Kristen Stewart, Snow White and the Huntsman style, because that's the first thing that came to mind. So yeah, channel your inner Kristen Stewart. Horrible impression, but anyway, Everybody take a breather, lock it in. In 3, 2, 1, go. And that is it, guys. Timer is up. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. Bragging rights for the winner. There should be some special candy for you that the leader has for the winner. So if you won in your group, congratulations, felicidades. But yeah, we are starting our new series tonight. Can't steal my joy, baby. You know, and if you won, there's no one can steal the joy in your group if you won tonight. But yeah, Matt's gonna drop a word, and hope you guys are enjoying tonight so far.
What was my first word I was gonna say? Hey, we got some announcements for you guys. First being, it's National Candy Day, so I hope you still have some leftover candy that maybe was not handed out or that you got. We have a bunch that we didn't hand out, so I'm eating candy that we bought for ourselves. It's great. Another thing, if you got to join us last Wednesday for our Halloween party, thanks for being there. You guys made it that much better. It was already a great event, and you guys being there made it so great. So congrats to Izzy for being the pirate that won best costume. Here's the other thing. We are looking for the person who painted the purple vampire pumpkin. So if you know that person or are that person, let us know because we want to give you your prize, okay? But again, that was a great time. Now I can officially say I did a silent disco and you guys were the first people I got to do it with. It was great. And then as always, next Wednesday, 7 p.m., we will be back here or online. Those are our announcements for this week. And I will be, oh yeah, we can just end it there. Hey everyone, again, my name is Matt, and I'm really excited about this series, Can't Steal My Joy. And before I get into what that series is about, I want to tell you guys a story that it reminds me of, and it is this story from when I was in college, and I was going on a mission trip, and they had us do this like 24-hour training session before we ever even left the country, and they tried to recreate all these different things that we were going to experience potentially on this trip. And one of these things was we had to do like a team competition against other teams that were going to other places in the world. And the winner of the challenge got a bunch of money and the losers, they didn't. Well, it turns out my team didn't win and another team won. And so they got all this money and the money was for food. Cause you know, maybe if you travel overseas, you might be left without money, you gotta figure it out. So they all got Chick-fil-A catered in and that was their meal. Well, the rest of us losers who had like no money, they gave us an option. It was like, you don't eat or you buy the greenest bananas in the world or these bowls of rice that are cooked just enough to not break your teeth, but hard enough that you might be like, are these rocks? All right, so that happened and I was like, I'm out of here, this is horrible. And what I didn't tell you guys is this 24 hours you weren't supposed to leave. Like, you can't just leave the country that you're visiting on the actual trip. And so it was, you know, you're not supposed to do that in the training either. But I was like, I'm not having this. So I got orders from like all 17 of my teammates. I snuck out of the building we're in and I went and spent like $50, $60 at Taco Bell and brought back all these snacks, brought back the whole restaurant for my team and we were over in a corner sneakily eating Taco Bell. And I share that story because you can't steal my joy. That is a situation where I like took something that we were experiencing. I got really mad because I'm like, they're feeding us nothing, made it happen and I created joy in my life, right? But maybe there's times that you find yourself asking the question of, well, how do I find joy and happiness in my life when it's outside of things that I can control, right? Like someone who passes away, I can't bring that person back. There's nothing that I can actually do. It's not the same as going to Taco Bell, Matt, so what the heck? So here's why I think this series is, why I'm excited and why I'm really looking forward to jumping into this, is because we're gonna be talking about joy, and specifically, we'll be looking at a guy in the Bible named Paul, who when he wrote this letter that we're gonna look at, was in prison. So like, he kind of was in his own quarantine, just without Disney Plus, without great food or drive-thrus to pick up food. He really didn't have anything, right? But he was on a type of quarantine. His was just called prison. And here's the thing, he wasn't just like rotting away or just barely surviving in prison, but actually he was living out of this place of no matter what your life circumstance might be, you can still find joy. All right. And here's the thing, I've said this before, but I often hear a lot of you say, I just want to be happy. I just want to find joy. And I just want to experience that, but it doesn't seem like I can. I do think that if you lean into what this series has to offer over the next couple weeks, I do think that you'll be able to find a new discovery of being happy or finding joy. It might be different than maybe what you were thinking, but I do think if you lean into what this series has to offer, there will be some really good stuff. Here's kind of just like a disclaimer, or like here's what this series is not saying. All right, I just want to be really clear that it's not saying that you are the problem and the reason why you're not experiencing joy and happiness. All right, that's not what we're saying in this. And it's also not saying that you have to have joy when the hells of life hit, maybe at your home or at people in your life, they're gone or something happened to you, that you just now need to go, suck it up and man up or whatever it is and experience joy and happiness and move on. That's also not what this series is about, okay? And crazy enough, the series we scheduled back in the summer, and it feels like it's also really relevant to what's just happening in our cultural moment now. Like, we're entering into our 8th month of this pandemic. Our state might be potentially moving backwards to be more of a safer at home kind of situation. You guys are balancing more recently, some of you have started going back to in-person school and balancing this online aspect. And some of you were in person for a week and now you're back online. A lot of things are changing with school. We had some wildfires in our backyard and turns out a presidential election. And so it just feels like it is a really helpful time to talk about this Can't Steal My Joy series. And so with that, I want us just to jump right in. We're gonna look at a letter that Paul wrote to the people living in this city called Philippi. Hence, if you were to open up your Bibles and look for the book of Philippians, it's named after the city that the letter was written to, right? Shocker. Here's the thing, the first thing that Paul says in this letter to the people after he introduces himself and says, hey, I miss you guys, is this. Every time you, meaning the people of Philippi, every time you cross my mind, I, Paul, break out an exclamation of thanks to God. And just to remind us, he's writing this from prison. All right, and that's the first thing that he says to them after his kind of like, hey, it's me, Paul. And then he goes on to say that he's always praying with joy for all of those people in every prayer. Again, he's in prison, and there he is kind of saying things that I don't necessarily know if I would expect to hear from someone who's been locked in prison. And here's the thing, I think that when we look at Paul, he found a way to have joy while being really in a terrible circumstance. He didn't deserve to be in prison. He was locked up because of what he believed in. And so he found a way to have joy in that, right? And here's the thing, one of the things of how he found joy was in the text I just read. I'll say it again. Paul said, I break out an exclamation of thanks to God. Here's the thing, no matter your circumstance, you can still find joy. And the first way that we just heard Paul talk about to find joy and happiness regardless of your situation or regardless of your life circumstance is to replace your discontentment, your lack of satisfaction with your life, and replace that discontentment with gratitude and thankfulness. He just said, I break out an exclamation of thanks to God when he was thinking of them, right? And here's the thing, when we're able to move from a place of just looking at all the discontentment stuff, the things in our life that we're not happy with, our situation, what we own, all these different things, and focus on shifting our mindset to being to gratitude and being thankful, things just shift, all right? So here's some examples or questions that maybe you can ask yourself. Currently, we're filming this before we know anything about the presidential election, but depending on who wins, it might be really hard for you to sit there and ask yourself a question of what am I thankful for? That's an example. Or maybe as we are sitting in still some version of quarantine, can you be thankful for something? As you're with your family, maybe more than ever over these past couple months, and maybe that's a really challenging time for you, or it's been well, is there something about them that you can be thankful for? You see, if we were to sit down just a couple minutes every day and just write down a couple things we're thankful for, and shift our mind from a place of maybe we're discontent, not happy with the things that we have in life, and then shifting to what are the things that I actually can be happy about in life that are not just a fake happiness, but they're actually right there in front of me and true. That is what we see in the Bible as one of the first steps into learning how to find joy despite our circumstance, right? So Jesus taught Paul that regardless of our circumstance, we can find joy. And that first part is moving away from our discontentment and becoming thankful. In the second part of this letter to the Philippians in this first chapter, we see Paul go into details about the other cellmates that he's with, hearing about Jesus, and then they put their confidence in Jesus and not in their current situation. And he goes on and tells some stories of the things that they're saying and the newfound energy that they have. They lean into the fact that their circumstance isn't the ultimate deciding factor of their faith, or the ultimate deciding factor of their happiness, but that they can have confidence in their faith and in Jesus that holds way more power than they can actually find, if they just look in their circumstance. When they actually look out and focus on Jesus and put confidence in him amidst their circumstance, they were able to find joy. And then lastly, we see Paul mention that in verse 9 that he is praying for the people of Philippi to grow in the way that they love, but also in discernment. And so no matter our circumstance, we can still find joy. And the third way that we see Paul do that as he learned, as he followed Jesus, is that the third way we can find joy and happiness is by growing. Growing in how we view life, growing in how we are thankful, growing in the ways that we love people. Growing is another key factor in learning how to find joy no matter what circumstance you're in. And again, here's just three simply, the things we talked about that we look at Paul while he's in prison, things that he learned. Here's really the quick breakdown. If you want to find joy and happiness in your life, be thankful. Might mean you need to figure out some time to look at those things that you're thankful for. Another thing is by putting our confidence in Jesus, not our situation, and by growing. And I want to close with this. There's a song by Judah and the Lion called Joy Boy. And I want to read some of the lyrics, and then I'll wrap up there. And it says, everybody's sad, everybody's broken, everybody's mad, everybody's lonely, everybody's looking for the meaning of all of this. Everybody's going through something. Ain't nobody getting away unscolded. Everybody's looking for the meaning of all of this. No matter what, I'm gonna choose joy. And so I just want to end with this kind of encouragement to all of us, is that last line is choose joy. Which might mean choose to be thankful, choose to follow Jesus, choose to continue to grow, choose joy. So I am going to pray, and then we'll jump into small group time. Jesus, again, thank you for another night to be able to be with our friends here or watching online. Thank you for Paul and his letter that he writes in a really difficult situation that I think some of us, if not a lot of us, find ourselves in as we just go throughout life. Things are hard. Things don't always feel joyful or happy, but that we get the opportunity to be able to look in and say, hey, we can have confidence in you that there is joy that can be found when we just figure out how we can be thankful. And that for those of us who are trying to figure what that looks like, I just pray that you'll help us to grow into that, to learn new things, to discover more things that we can be thankful for. But again, I thank you for my friends. Thank you for this opportunity to be here tonight. And I just pray that as they head out from here or click off online, that you will just continue to surround them with people who care for them and people who love them. And thank you for the way that you love us. With that, in your name, we pray. Amen. All right, thank you guys. Have a great small group time. See you all next week.
We are so glad you came. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Remember, please discard all candy wrappers and popcorn containers in the nearest trash receptacle. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay. Are they all gone? Is everybody gone? Huh? Good. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are killing me. I can't keep smiling like this anymore. I am exhausted. I think I need a break. A little break? Okay.